We start in Russia. The death toll currently stands at more than 130 people after Friday night's horrific terrorist attack in suburban Moscow. 4 men have been arrested in connection with the attack. That's according to the Russian government. Russia says the 4 were from the former Soviet Republic of Tajikistan, but have not commented on the claim they are Islamic State soldiers. Instead, in a Saturday speech to the nation, Russian President Vladimir Putin tried to tie the terrorists to Ukraine, a claim immediately addressed by Ukraine's president, Vladimir Zelensky.
They brought hundreds of thousands of their own terrorists here on Ukrainian land to fight against us. They don't care about what's happening inside their own country. Yesterday, as all this happened, instead of dealing with his fellow Russian citizens and addressing them, the wimp Putin was silent for 24 hours, thinking about how to tie this to Ukraine. It's all absolutely predictable.
The U.S. National Security Council reiterated on Saturday that Ukraine had nothing to do with the attack, saying, quote, ISIS bears sole responsibility for the attack. There was no Ukrainian involvement whatsoever, end quote. Now, despite the Islamic State claiming responsibility for the tragic attack, Putin failed to mention them in his Saturday address to his country, instead accusing Ukraine, this as Russia unleashes numerous attacks on that country. Is Putin's focus on Ukraine hurting Russia more than he's realizing? Former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Bill Taylor, joins us this morning. Welcome to the show, Ambassador.
Morning, Anna.
Great to have you, sir. So Putin, like we mentioned, placing blame on Ukraine, saying they gave the suspects a window to escape. Of course, Zelensky saying that is not true. That never happened. The U.S. National Security Council, as you well know, sir, believes there was no Ukrainian involvement. So what's Putin's motivation here?
Trying to shift the blame, Anna. He's clearly failed. His security services are more focused on suppressing dissent in Russia and also pursuing this horrible aggression against the Ukrainians. And they should be trying to protect Russian citizens. So he's trying to deflect the blame. He has made his case for himself in this election that he provides security. Well, he didn't provide security in spite of the fact he was told this was coming. The Americans, the United States government, with a duty to warn when they got intelligence that this kind of thing was about to happen, told the Russians, and they did not respond. They didn't respond at all, and this is what's happened.
Ambassador, I'm curious here. With Russia having state-run media, do his citizens, do his people know that they got the warning? What information is being filtered to them?
Anna, you're exactly right. The Russian citizens only know what the Russian government, what the Kremlin wants them to know. Now, there's a little bit that can get through in media, in social media, but not very much. So you're exactly right. The Russian people undoubtedly do not know that the American government tried to warn the Russians and others about this impending disaster.
Thank you for that. So leaders from all over Europe have spoken out against the attacks, really the world. Also, the president of the European Commission, France, took to X, formerly known as Twitter, with the prime minister of Poland. He condemned the action. But now, what else? What else can we see as a response internationally from these nations and, of course, others?
So a terrorist attack is horrible, and it ought to be pursued, investigated. The Russians, however, they haven't mentioned ISIS-K. They haven't mentioned this is a terrorist attack coming out of Afghanistan. No, they've focused on, indeed, you just mentioned their control over the media. The controlled media has still focused on Ukraine. So the point is, they're vulnerable to another attack. ISIS-K and many of these terrorists hate Russia because of what Russia has done to Muslims around the world. So they should be defending themselves against that, but they are focused on Ukraine. They're focused on trying to dominate, take over Ukraine, wipe Ukraine off, and so they're vulnerable to another attack.
So with all this happening in Russia and all the information that we're getting, like the 11 men that have been detained, should we trust what's coming from Russia when it comes to these suspects? And what's next for those 11 that were arrested, Ambassador?
You're exactly right, Anna. We should not trust anything that comes out of the Kremlin. They have one message. They're trying to tell their own story and trying to blame the Ukrainians, trying to whip up Russian citizens to hate the Ukrainians. So this is not something we should be listening to. What we should be watching for is how we can support the Ukrainians as they defend themselves.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.